Hello friends, and welcome to Numerical Studio. And we are back with another problem from the world of physics. And this time the problem that we have chosen is from the recent NEET paper. The problem is right before you. It states a ball is thrown upward and falling back to the thrower's hand. We have to draw the velocity time graph which can describe the motion of the ball. So friends, as you all understand that, I have just taken this screenshot from one of the paper that has been published online. And you can see that the candidate who has appeared for this examination has marked number 2 as his answer. So let us try to understand that whether this answer is right or wrong. So before actually jumping into the problem, let us try to understand that what kind of underlying concepts are there and that we need to understand before actually solving the problem. So the concept involved is that this is a motion that is under the gravity. What do you mean by the motion under gravity? Whenever you are throwing something and it is coming back to you, you know that there is some kind of force which is pulling the object back to the ground, and that force is nothing but the gravity. Okay. So whenever any motion of a particle is happening only under the influence of the gravity, only acceleration that is involved there is a gravity, then we can say that motion is commanded by, or it is under the influence of gravity only. Now you can see the diagram that I have given over here, and this diagram, the man is throwing the ball up and it is reaching to the highest point and then it is coming back to his hand. So it involves only the y-axis. If you just draw the Cartesian coordinate system, then it's only involved the y-axis. Only one axis is involved. So that's why we are calling it's a one-dimensional motion. Now, friends, you see the physical quantity are basically divided into two categories. As we all know, it is called vectors and scalars. I have created a special videos based on vectors and scalars. Okay, you can go and visit from our playlist also, and it will give you an enriched knowledge regarding this particular topic. So vectors and scalars are differentiated by their directions. So whenever you are considering a vector quantity, vector physical quantity, you need to consider their directions also. So if I just considering this hand of this man as a reference level, then all the direction that I'm in this particular thing, positive y direction, we can consider a positive, and this is negative. You can consider the otherwise also. Okay. Now let's try to understand that when you are throwing the ball up, the man has to give some kind of velocity to the ball so that it can reach to the highest point. And at that highest point, it will be 0, right? Because it is not going beyond it. That's why the velocity is 0 here. So you can see the initial velocity in positive direction. Similarly, the displacement that is covered in this direction while going up, it is positive. Okay. So displacement y is also positive. And when it is coming back towards the man's hand again, or the thrower's hand, you can see the velocity will be negative. Okay. Displacement is again in this direction will be negative. But in both the cases, whether it is going up or down, you can see the acceleration due to gravity, it will always be towards the center of earth, and it is always in the negative direction. So G is always negative. So that is a very key factor to solve this problem, always negative. At the same time, we need to understand that what kind of G it is, whether it is a constant G or whether it is a variable G. So friends, whenever the height taken by the ball, if the height taken by the ball is very, very less than the radius of earth, in that condition, we can consider G as constant. So all the motion that is under the gravity, or in future we will study about the projectile motion also, we have to consider the value of G is constant, because we are not going to throw a ball beyond the radius of earth because we don't possess that kind of force. Okay. And it is not practically possible also. So G is more or less constant here. Okay. Now, whenever there is a constant acceleration motion, there are certain equations of motions also. And one of the equations of motion that you have read in your class 9 also, that is V equal to U plus AT. I'm not going to solve it right now, that how this equation is established. I am just publishing a entirely separate video explaining all the equations of motion, so that you can understand that what is the kind of derivation that is required, But I assume that you have studied in class 9 and v equal to u plus at is a very simple formula where v represents the final velocity, u represents the initial velocity, a is the acceleration that is involved during the motion, which is constant in nature, and t is the time for which you are considering. Okay, so let us try to frame this equation while the ball is going up. So when the ball is going up, you can see the velocity at any given point of time t can be written as u minus gt, because u is positive here, so we are just putting the positive u, but acceleration is minus g, that's why we are putting the g. Now when the ball is reaching at highest point I have already told you, at highest point what will be the case? The case will be v equal to 0. So if v equal to 0, that means t will be u by g. That means this is the time taken by the ball to reach at this particular point. So this can be the time taken by ball to reach up to this height is u by g. Now friends, another consideration that need to be given here, that during this particular motion, we are not considering any air resistance is present, because if there is any air resistance is present, then that is going to affect in the motion of the ball. But if the air resistance is negligible, in that case, the time taken by the ball in ascending to this height, okay, time of ascending will be equal to time of descending. Similarly, the velocity with which it is thrown up to this particular point, when the ball will come to the thrower's hand, it will have the similar velocity. So now, having this equation in our hand, let us try to draw our graph, because at t equal to 0, you can see the v equal to u, right, from this equation. So we can start from u here, and at t equal to u by g, v equal to 0. So that means it is going downward, and this is a negative slope. Okay, so g is the slope of VT graph is what? The slope of VT graph gives the acceleration. Again, you'll ask me that, sir, how do you know that the slope of VT graph gives acceleration? So there is one more video that we are putting up, that is the calculus and pre-calculus calculus. Okay, because without the use of mathematics, you cannot have that kind of command over physics, because at many times there are problems where you have to do certain integration, certain differentiation. But what are these terms? I'm not going to explain it right now, because it will just digress from our topic, and you'll get confused also. So let's concentrate on the equation also. This is a straight line, so u at t equal to u by g, the velocity will be 0 at this particular point. Now once it is going downward, as you can see, the velocity is negative, so it will be going downward till it is reaching to the man's hand. So again there will be a velocity that is minus u, and at time t equal to, since the time of ascent and time of descent are equal, so that will be 2u by g, the velocity will be this. Now based on this options, you can see this is not possible, this is not possible, this is possible. Again, I'm asking why this is not possible, because this is also showing that velocity was once negative and then it's become positive. So what is wrong with this answer? Why this person who has chosen D is wrong, and why he should choose C? So just focus on this and get me your answer in the comment box, and I'll be very happy that if you have understood the motion and the gravity, okay, and it is going to fetch you 1 marks from the NEET examination, though you have not appeared, or maybe you are appearing in the future. So that is going to build your confidence. Friends, this completes our topic for the day. And before I sum up, I just request all of you that please do not forget to subscribe our channel, because your subscriptions definitely give us a motivation to grow more, and to bring more for bringing all these things, you also need to do a certain kind of efforts. Okay, and for efforts, if the efforts are rewarding, then everybody likes it. As you like marks, I just want your little bit of help, so that you can also share my channel as much as possible from your side, and we can also get motivated by seeing the stats. So thank you, friends. Thank you for your time. Have a great evening, and just remember that physics is no longer nightmare for you as long as you are watching Numerical Studio. Thank you once again. Have a great day.